First of all, how are you doing? How are you keeping during the quarantine?
Yeah, you know what? I'm doing great. And even though I haven't been doing much shows because of the quarantine, I'm doing really good and I'm very busy. Like a lot of people are like, hey Mo, can you get on this hook? Hey Mo, can you produce this for me? You know, it's like I'm all over the place and I'm really trying my best to finish my EP with the band. We have 3 songs that are supposed to be on the EP, but we need to record the band in the studio. And we're having a big issue with that because we can't get in any studio because, you know, we're quarantine.
Yeah, I know it's rough. Everybody's like really improvising and trying to find new ways to make their craft work.
Exactly.
With social distancing, with online, right? So that's good to hear you're still busy. It's good.
Thank you.
I can't wait until this is over and we can see what new stuff you have coming out.
Yeah, I'm so excited for the music to come out. You know, I'm loving Butterflies, but you know, there's a lot more to come. A lot more, and I just want to share it with all of you guys. I really do.
So how did you get into music in the first place? I know I think you went to art school or some kind of music school?
Yes, I first started at New Conservatory of Music when I was about 11 years old, and they set the keyboard out and I just started playing the keyboard. It was so weird. I started playing it and the teacher was like, oh, she has an ear for music. Yeah. You should sign her to New Conservatory of Music. And my mom's like, oh, I don't know, because it's a little pricey, right? And she's like, I don't know. And I'm like, please, Mom, please. I begged her. And you know, I was able to go and I just flourished. I just kept flourishing there. It was amazing.
Was your family also in the art? Did they also influence you into getting into the music industry?
Yes. My mom, she was a poet for so many years. So she was always writing. And my dad was a DJ. So he was having house parties all the time. Every other weekend, we had a big party in our basement. So the music was just always there, always instilled inside of me.
A lot of people don't know that you write your music and you also produce.
Yes.
Is there either one that you like doing more?
I produced a song called Soulful Love. I wrote and produced that song. I love singing that song. And it's gonna be on the EP. I actually recorded it years ago and produced it, but I'm gonna redo it. I'm gonna do a modern version of it, you know, an updated version. Can't wait for you guys to hear that. Soulful Love. I also love doing Don't Wanna Go. Oh my goodness. Yeah, those 2 songs, whenever I perform those, everybody's like, they love it, you know, they love it. That's when Butterflies came, you know. I always felt I needed that hit. So
I was just about to say, a lot of your songs are kind of like love and relationships, and you have some ballads, you have some collabs. How do you get that inspiration to write about those types of songs?
Those songs are pretty much, most of the time, they're true stories.
Personal. They're dear to heart. Yeah.
It just comes naturally. I can't explain how it all comes together, but I just think of the person that I'm feeling at the time, whether it's if I'm angry at that person or if I'm in love. I just think about them, and it just naturally just comes to me.
Okay, for someone who isn't familiar with Mo SPENCE, like how would you describe your music and the type of music that you make?
I am very old school. It's like old school R&B, a little bit of reggae in there, a little hip hop, you know. I'd be more compared to like Mary J, Faith Evans, and those are my 2 artists that I love the most. It's a different type of sound, but it's a sound I feel that is needed in the industry right now, especially with what's going on in the industry.
When you talk to a lot of artists, some of the artists don't really know about like the Mary J's and the Faith Evans. They're kind of like a new generation type of artist.
Right.
Do you think it's important to listen to artists from our past to kind of like know the craft and really own it?
Yes, definitely. I actually been noticing that the younger generation, they love 90s music. A lot of them have been telling me that they love 90s music more than their own music today. You know, but I really do think it's very important for people to listen to these type of music so that they can be influenced by real music, real talent. Have more bands. Like, we're losing bands. But I think we still need to get back to the authenticity of creating the music with instruments, with your voice,
Right.
And not all digital and machines and all that stuff.
Right.
It's still a balance.
So you mentioned Faith, you mentioned Mary J. If we were to open your Spotify playlist right now, what would be like your top 5 artists that you're listening to?
I'm definitely listening to Faith, Mary J, Kelly Price.
Okay.
Love my Kelly Price. I love Ella Mai. Her, she's doing her thing. Keisha Cole, Whitney, Mariah, those powerhouses.
Yeah, I was just about to say that because I've heard you perform live a few times now, and your voice is like a very, very strong, distinctive voice where you can be like at the back of a theater and hear alone, right? So yeah.
Thank you. Yes. And I would love for you to hear some of the stuff that I've been working on. My goodness, especially when I was like much younger, because I've been making music for a while. I just haven't really released anything, but what I'm going to do is go back, revisit the songs that I've written and produced, and just update them and let you guys hear it. Like when I was listening back, I'm like, whoa, I was able to do that. Definitely. So I think I'm ready to go all the way now. I've had a lot of things going on in my life which kind of hindered me from where I wanted to go with my music, but now things have finally gotten to a good spot and a good space in my life. So I'm just ready. There's no stopping more right now.
And when you had those moments where you weren't able to create, what was going on? What was hindering you?
There was a lot going on. First and foremost, I had my children, right? So that was my priority. I ended up falling ill. I was bedridden for a while, for a long time, which stopped me from getting in the studio. There were some times where I was so sick, but I had music in my head that I needed to get out. So I would literally go in my basement, like crawl to my basement and just push that record button. and I just would record my song. And one of them, an example of that is a song called When You Cry. It's on my YouTube channel now, so if you ever get a chance, check that song out. It's called When You Cry. I've also been through an abusive relationship for so many years, and that kind of hindered me as well from what I really wanted to do. But I'm so over all that now. And I think that's why I got sick too, because I was so stressed out. I was like emotionally stressed out that my body just couldn't take it anymore. And I just felt so ill that like I was in and out of the hospital. Nobody knew exactly what was happening with me. But I strongly believe it was my stress, like my emotional stress I was holding on to inside. And I didn't have anybody to really talk to about it. So I was just holding it all in. Now that I've been releasing it, I'm feeling so much better. I still have a little bit of complications with my health, but nothing that's keeping me bedridden, nothing that's going to ever stop me ever again. So
that's what I like to hear. Good, physical health, mental health, just elaborating on that and us being at home and in quarantine, how important it is, your mental health and physical health in terms of like being an artist and making music.
It's so important. It's so important. And I also felt like music for me was my therapy. I do have when I was in my dark times, you can hear it. I have a song on my YouTube channel as well called We Will Never Know.
Yes.
And if you listen to that song, you'll be like, okay, yeah, she was in a dark space in her life at that time.
Yeah.
So check that out as well. We Will Never Know. But yeah, music is therapy. It really helped me mentally to get out of this rut that I was in, for sure. There's so much talent here. Like I've met so many talented people, and I'm working with some of them, and I'm like, how come we're not these big stars? Like, how? There's so much talent here. A lot of people are like, they're saying, oh, you need to move, you need to live in the States, and then if you do that, they call you sellout. So it's like, what do? It's like you can't win. You know. But you just got to be true to yourself, be true to your craft. If that means you have to leave, you got to leave. It's kind of hard for me to pick up and leave my whole family, you know, but
if there's anything that you could change about the current state of the music industry, would you?
That's a good question. I feel like the music that's being forced down our throats today, it's not showing our full potential as artists. You know what I mean? And I think that artists should have more of creative control, more of a say of what they want to make, the music they want to make. A lot of it is everybody wants to do the same thing because it's safe. You know what I mean? Like everybody is used to that type of music, but I don't know. I feel like artists need to just be authentic, be your true self, and people will follow you. Like if you're really, I strongly believe if you're making music that is true to yourself and that you love, people will love you, people won't, you know what I mean? But there will be people who will support you. So I think that the industry needs to let the artists be themselves, like for real.
No, yes. I totally agree. So you also mentioned that you're a mama.
Yes.
Yes. So how do you balance being an artist and a mom?
It's been very hard because when I had my first child, I was very, very young. And it was a very scary time because I actually had the chance to leave home and move to the States to get signed and do all that big stuff. But I chose to be a mom. I chose to stay home and raise my child because, you know, I felt like I couldn't leave her. Like I just couldn't do it, you know. So, but it is hard. And there were times where I have 2 children. So my bigger one now, she's my backup singer. She sings backup for me.
Oh, nice.
And yeah, it's awesome. And my little one, sometimes I don't have a babysitter. So when I'm doing these shows, like she has to come, you know, like she's there. I have to like give her like headphones.
Keep her busy.
Like, so that, yeah, you know, the band, like we can get really loud, right? So I have to like put headphones on her and maybe have her like in the corner with like people who come with me so they can lay down and sleep while I'm doing my set, because sometimes we're late. Our sets are, you know, so it's hard, but it's manageable.
Work, and I'm sure a lot of people didn't know that your oldest daughter is your backup singer. Like, how is that experience?
It's amazing because she grew up watching me do this. So she just knows all the songs. And when we were in rehearsal, I'm like, oh, you actually know that song? She loves singing. She has such a beautiful voice. And I'm encouraging her. Like, even yesterday, I told her, I need to get you up in the booth. I have a little small setup here. I'm like, I'm going to get you up in the booth and I'm going to record your first song. She's like, oh. She loves music, though. And she's got that powerful voice. So I'm trying to help her with that, definitely.
Okay, so EP on the way for Little Mo.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Your music video that you just dropped, May 1st.
That is playing behind you, yes.
I checked out the video, and everybody that's listening, you need to go and take a look at this video. The song, first of all, is like amazing. Club
thank you.
Like, very catchy. You know, give me that. I was doing it. I was getting into it. So, how was that experience? You've done a few music videos now.
Yes.
How was making Butterflies?
Butterflies was a totally different experience because it was on another level of production. And quality. So, and I was able to have pretty much full control of everything, like where I wanted it located and who I wanted in it. Some people who I really did want in it weren't able to make it, but it still came out amazing. But I got everything I asked for from the director Jay. He gave me everything I asked for. I had a great team behind me, makeup artists, everybody who was involved with this, my fashion designer, everybody. I'm just happy with how everything turned out, because I've done music videos in the past and they never actually came out, because when I saw the finished product, I'm like, nope, it's not happening.
Right.
So, and I'm very critical of myself. I'm sure people are critical of themselves, you know, and I was at the point where I was like, I don't know if I want this video to come out because I'm not fully physically where I wanted to be at the time.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm like, you know what? This is me. This is who I am. This is, you know, I can't be hiding anymore. I gotta just do my thing. So I just said, you know what? Let it go. And I just put it out there. The quarantine is not helping. But we're staying positive. We're trying to get healthier anyway. In this household, we're trying to be healthier.
Is there any one or two memorable moments that like really stand out for you where you're like, wow, I'm actually really doing this right now?
Yeah, it was crazy. Okay, when I see that red dress, when I was wearing the red dress and they started doing the butterflies dance,
yeah,
I was like, I can't believe this, you know, like I created the whole thing, like the whole dance, and I'm seeing everybody do it, and I'm like I can't believe this.
As we all know, you're recently engaged. Congratulations.
Yes, thank you.
How was it having hubby in the music video?
Like, I was so pleased. I'm like, you know, you have to be in like all my videos now, right? He's like, all right, yeah. He's like, just let me know, you know. So it was easy. Because I was just able to be myself with him. Mm-hmm. Like I didn't have to be like, I didn't have to be careful, like you're tiptoe around things. Because now we have our video crew now, and we're just trying to like have our own label. So we're gonna be pushing out. There's a company called Shop 520 that is gonna be supporting my outfits. So my next video, I'm going to be wearing that. Hope you guys like it.
You were speaking about some of the future plans you have there. Do you have any collabs that you're working on or any new music that's in the works?
Yes. I have some collabs with a couple artists in Africa, believe it or not. One of them is Val Page. His name is Val Page. You Bring Me Joy is the name of the song. Beautiful song. He's from Nigeria. Okay. So we're hoping to get that going really soon. I have some, do you know Messiah? I'm not sure if you know who Messiah is. He's a rapper from Toronto. Yeah. I got a few tracks with him. He's dope. You guys need to check out Messiah. He's dope. One with Mike Guts coming soon. He's also from Toronto. Dope artist as well. I'm trying to find a female singer. I really want to do a song with a powerhouse singer and do a collab with her. Another thing I would like to say is we need to like invest in ourselves, right? That's another thing that I feel was my downfall, was I wasn't really investing into my music. Mm-hmm. So, you know, I know it's hard, like you have to work, you have this, you have that going on, and it's like when do you have time? You have bills to pay, but it's very important to set a budget aside for your music and invest in the right places. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? I think it's very important. You have to invest in yourself.
That's all the questions that we have for you, Mo. Thank you so much for taking the time to sit down and chat with us and get us up to speed on what you're doing.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you for having me.
All right.
It was awesome.
Take care. Bye.
Bye, guys. Take care.
What do I take?